Yo, what is going on YouTube? I am Germ here. Literally just rolled out of bed. Have to go to work in a little bit. So if anything else big comes out today, if any big news, any big stories, I probably won't get to it for like the next 8 hours or so. But today we have some absolutely massive news coming out very early this morning regarding Cloud9 that we're going to be talking about in this video. It seems like they might have their roster officially done. So we're definitely going to talk about that real quick. But also, tonight, once I get home from work, I'm going to be streaming on twitch.tv/I_am_germ. First link in the description below, because today is the day that the offseason officially starts. Today is the free agency show with Jacob Wolf, Bloop, Tim, all those guys. It's going to be really fun. It's going to be really exciting. But also today, we're expecting a ton of banger moves, a ton of finalization of rosters, of players going places. So make sure you guys don't miss out on that. Definitely drop a follow, maybe a prime, maybe a sub. With that being said, let's get right into this. The massive news we have today is coming out about Cloud9. Just a couple of minutes ago, I guess a couple hours ago. I don't know. Like I said, I've been sleeping. This is all overnight for me. I went to bed early last night because I had to wake up early for work. But apparently last night, Travis tweeted out, sources, Cloud9 have decided on their starting lineup and intend to run, pending free agency signatures, top Summit, jungle Blabber, mid lane Fudge, AD carry Sven, and support Isle. So obviously, when I see this announcement, when I'm looking at this roster, a lot of very exciting stuff, a lot of crazy stuff, a lot of unexpected stuff, but some weird stuff too, and some stuff that I'm not totally 100% sure about. And I guess in the end, really cool roster. But also a roster that I don't know how much I believe in it. Don't know how crazy I feel about this. But let's just hear what Travis has to say first. Like a minute-long clip real quick. And then I'll give the rest of my thoughts and opinions, and we can get rolling with this one. So I'm not, late for work.
Well, it's the night before free agency, and I have multiple sources telling me that C9 has decided on what their lineup is going to be. Now, obviously, things cannot happen until free agency begins and signatures can start hitting paper. But as we've seen previously, AG and Team Liquid supposedly locked their rosters. C9 has now locked their roster expectations ahead of free agency opening. Their roster will be Summit top, Blabber jungle, Fudge mid, Sven ADC, and Isle support. So yes, you just heard it. Fudge role swapping mid so that Summit can come in. We will see how things go after free agency opens and people can sign, because it's kind of weird off-season. We might see some last-minute movement, but as of now, that seems to be what C9 will be running next year, and I'm very confident based on the number of sources that have been telling me this. So pretty big moves over at Cloud9. We will see how things go, and excited to see this lineup play next year if everything goes according to plan.
So, like you said, this has come from multiple sources. This seems pretty legit. This seems pretty official. Really crazy. I mean, obviously, there's a couple of different moves to talk about. One, Summit coming into the LCS, coming into Cloud9. I'm pretty sure the Sandbox lineup, blew up. So, Summit coming over from Sandbox to Cloud9. He's going to be a beast. I think this is a huge pickup. I really thought that Summit was going to end up at Fnatic, because Fnatic, has that opening in the top lane, and I thought that made a lot more sense. But coming to Cloud9 is still very cool. It wasn't really something I ever considered because I thought they had Fudge. It looked like they were looking for mid laners. Nisqy was in talks, and Copy was in talks, and some other imports and stuff. I never really thought Fudge role swapping to mid was going to be an option, but I think Summit is going to be a beast. I talk about it all the time. Top lane is very weak in the West. It's weak in the LCS and in the LEC. We don't have a ton of great top laners. When you look at the LCS this year, once again, it's not that great, and then we even lost Alphari on top of everything else, who was probably the best top laner in the LCS and maybe the best top laner in the West. So I think Summit's going to come in and have a field day, especially in lane. I think he's going to be a monster. I think this is a massive pickup for Cloud9. Fudge, role swapping to mid lane. I think it can work. He's obviously a very young, very talented player. It's not like he's ever had champion pool issues or anything like that, but mid is a different position than top, and I think most people would say mid is probably a more difficult position than top. There haven't been as many successful mid laners, but if Fudge can role swap to mid and be good or even great, that's going to be huge for Cloud9. Having a resident mid lane option that is very, very serviceable and capable. If Fudge does good here, he's going to make himself a ton of money because, again, a resident mid laner is so much more valuable than a good resident top laner. Obviously, you wouldn't mind having either one of those. But there is definitely some question marks. However good you think Fudge is, I think pretty highly of him. That doesn't mean this role swap's necessarily going to go great. He's going to be playing a lot of different champions. He's going to have to play a very different style. Not only is he going to have to learn a bunch of new champs, a bunch of new matchups, he's going to have to learn a new play style. The play style between top and mid is very, very different. I mean, it's very similar, obviously. He's swapping between lanes. It's going to be a lot of the same stuff going on, but it's very different at the same time. And yeah, I mean, we'll see how he's able to be successful with it. But just kind of interesting that, yeah, they decided to, keep Fudge and role swapping a mid over going with, a Nisqy or a Jensen or a Copy or whoever. So it'll be interesting to see, and it'll be interesting to see how that works out. And if it doesn't work out well, what Cloud9 does from there. Do they move on from Fudge? That's going to be kind of crazy. That's going to be kind of weird to see what happens there. And then, obviously, selling off Vulcan to go with Sven and Isles in the bot lane, at one point in the offseason and really throughout most of the year, it looked like Sven was probably going to be gone. They benched him for King. There was all these rumors about how Sven would be gone. Cloud9 was looking at other AD carries. Maybe they'll get Tactical. Maybe they'll get Reckless. Maybe they'll get Hansama, whoever. And obviously, it looks like they're going to be hanging on to Sven, which I think is probably a little disappointing to a lot of people. And then Isles at support is, another big question mark. Obviously, he's been good in Academy. I'm not super, super high on him, but we'll see how that goes. I think most people expect him to be a downgrade from Vulcan. So this lineup looks interesting. It looks cool. It's going to be interesting to watch. I'm definitely going to be tuning in to see how good Summit is, to see if Fudge can roll swap to mid. But for me, I always think it's weird when you go out and land a massive, massive free agent like Summit, but then you still have question marks and holes in your lineup. Like, if you're going to go get a big free agent, why not go big? Why not go crazy? To me, this feels like last year TSM getting Sword Art and then having lost at AD carry. It's like, okay, yeah, you spent all this money on this free agent. Yeah, so even if Sword Art was pretty good, you just have too many question marks in the team. It's holding you back. You're spending on this free agent. You're getting a massive player, but you're not getting the massive roster. So really, what's the point? Is kind of where I'm at right now. Like, you have Summit, but then you have roll swap Fudge mid, and you have Sven and Isles bot lane. Like, yeah, Summit, Blabber are probably going to be beasts. Fudge mid even could be a beast, but Sven and Isles, I don't know. I don't totally love the full roster. I don't totally love the full picture here. Is this team better than 100 Thieves? Is this team going to be able to compete with TL? Is this team better than EG? I really don't know at this point. But it is cool to see. We're finally getting some more answers. We're finally getting some more things figured out. Yeah, I don't know. Definitely an exciting time to be a Cloud9 fan, because there's worse possible rosters they could have fielded. I think this is cooler than having Copy mid lane or even Nisqy mid lane. But man, yeah, I don't know. I don't know how I feel about this one. I don't know how well it's going to go down. But that's pretty much it for this video today, guys. Definitely drop a like if you did enjoy it. I would appreciate it so much. Leave a comment down below. What do you think about this C9 lineup? I'd love to hear your guys' thoughts and opinions. Subscribe, stay up to date on all my latest content. Hope to catch you guys in the next one. But until then, peace.